eating peanut butter toast before filming a video is not a smart idea. So today I am getting ready, clearly. Otherwise, why else would I have bunny ears in my head? Although I would wear bunny ears just for fun. That is something I would definitely do. So I figured I would film a little get ready with me. It's been a little while since I've done one of these. So if you have somewhere to get ready for today, then hey, I got you. Do you guys have the pattern app? When I first got it and I first started like putting stuff into the pattern app, I used to read it all the time. And then I kind of forgot about it for a while and just randomly decided to check it the other day. And I have like 6 patterns going on right now. Is it 6? Am I being dramatic? No, it's literally 6. Whoever you are watching this, like what is your stance on these types of things? I know it's based on your birth chart, but is there any scientific backing for the pattern? I know the answer is going to be no, but I just want to see if anybody's actually asked this before. Someone has to. Someone's got to ask. Channing Tatum uses this app? Okay. What is the pattern? Everything you need to know about the app Channing Tatum is freaking out over. This makes me want to run a bond, which is something you can do on the pattern app. Okay, are we just gonna have a conversation today about the pattern app? Because it kind of feels like it. The pattern app is this app here. I've recorded my screen. So this is my pattern, but you can go to daily and like it shows you things that are going on astrologically in the world, mainly with things like the moon and like the planetary alignments and why certain things might be feeling some certain types of ways based on all that energy. I know that to some of you, this is not gonna sound very educated, but to some of you, you're gonna be like, yeah, that makes sense. And when it comes to things like astronomy crossing over with astrology, because astronomy is a real science. Astrology, however, is highly debatable. And there's always a ton of people that don't believe in it at all. And then there's always like a strong following that does. And then there's a group that kind of walks in the middle, like they know their sign and the basic things about their sign, but like they don't necessarily check it all the time or every day. And like, that's just the 3 pillars of the wide range of astrology, let's say. If we can scientifically collectively agree that just even where the moon is positioned and the phase of the moon that we're in, that can energetically change things on Earth. And not like, I'm not speaking woo-woo here right now. Like it literally changes the tides of the ocean. It changes even like the hunting patterns of certain animals in certain regions across the globe. When you read the different positions of the different planets and how they cross over with other planets, if even in the subtlest of ways, that energy cannot have some sort of domino effect as well. So that's why I kind of stand on the fence with astrology and why I'm always really open-minded to astrology. I mean, obviously there's always human error. So when you're reading the analysis of, I would definitely fall upon a more seasoned astrologer. You have people that just get into the spiritual, much like myself, and then create content just around their like experience of it and their growth in it. And then you can get like I said, those really well-seasoned, have been doing this or studying these types of things or practicing these types of things for years. I feel like anybody that has the dedication and the passion to stick to something much like astrology for like, I'm talking decades, that to me screams like an expert in the field. Not that there's anything wrong with getting your info anywhere else, including the app. This is all to say that the other day I was on my phone and I opened up my pattern app and I was just like, I haven't checked this thing in a little while. And I clicked to my timing and I was like, oh, softening and opening up, taking stock, healing relationship blocks, healing relationship challenges, nurturing confidence and opening up, all happening simultaneously, one on top of another, which is a lot if you ask me. And honestly, the more in depth I read about them, because you can get pretty in depth with them and go deeper and like really scroll through everything that it says, and all of it seemed pretty legit. I can decently relate to enough of these patterns to feel like this is actually like a prevalent thing going on in my life right now. For instance, softening and opening up, March 22nd to December 1st, 2021. So I'm doing this for 6 more months, but have been doing this pretty much since the beginning of the pandemic, and holy hell. Yeah, I haven't really talked that much about the fact that we've all been going through a pandemic for the past 1.5 years. Like I've definitely talked about it and touched on it, but I've never really made, outside of at the very beginning doing like isolation videos and like how to basically keep yourself busy or like things to do or how to stay calm and relaxed, or haven't really talked a lot, I guess, about from a personal standpoint how I made it through. If I was super honest about the things that I really explored and felt throughout this pandemic, the whole feeling like life is an illusion and like this whole, like, I've just been deep into the layers of like, why do we exist? Why are we here? that kind of stuff, which can be kind of deep and heavy, you know? And I love deep and heavy, but sometimes the internet doesn't need deep and heavy. Or maybe it does, I don't know. This time can be confusing if you're used to being in control, but it can also be incredibly spiritual and so much more comfortable with my beliefs. But I sometimes leave the spiritual aspect out of it, or even the spiritual terms or words out of it, because I'm afraid of like turning people off. If we're talking spirituality in the sense of like just truly getting to know, love, and accept who you are, tapping into you, your unique individuality here on earth, and you're allowed to do with that, as long as like especially you're not hurting anybody, like you're allowed to do with that whatever you want, you know? I get better and better all the time about it, but like sometimes it's just easier to leave the spiritual sense out of it. So that's kind of it. Like I feel like if I were to actually sit down and talk about what this pandemic did to me, I feel like I've tapped into my yin, which makes a lot of sense. I was alone for a lot of it, and just like self-reflect. I was like, what else do? You self-explore. And that kind of sounded dirty, but I mean, the next pattern is taking stock, and this one started on my birthday this year. And it says, this is one of the most important times of your life when your purpose starts to reveal itself. Right now, it's time to take stock of your life. You're at a fork in the road and you may feel a heaviness and a pressure. I've been feeling anxious more often lately. I've vlogged about it. I've kind of talked about it in pockets here and there, but again, like I guess in a very upfront official sense, like yes, I've been experiencing more anxiety, how the kids are saying it nowadays. I do feel that pressure and heaviness on my chest, like often. It's a very just a factual thing. I'm just aware that it's there, and I'm trying to just keep doing what I need to do and understand that like there's not a lot you can do for that feeling. Even right now, I need to take a deep breath. There's literally nothing you can really do with that heaviness at that moment, because it's saying like it does in a weird way feel like a fork in the road, and I'm doing my best to come up with answers. I'm doing even just my best to do it all. I'm still trying to almost hold on to what was as I'm pivoting towards something new, and that transition is gonna take time. Like I really don't think there could be a better way for me to do this. Like I'm just very aware of where I'm at in life right now, and that I'm feeling this way for that reason. So I'm not taking it very personally. I'm just like, I can make space for this, you know? I can just expand around the feeling. You're like, okay, you're here too, anxiety. I can make room for you. I'm not gonna kick you out of the club. I get why you're here. I get it. Big decisions we're making. Picking freaking life paths over here. If I didn't feel heaviness in the chest, then I'd be a little concerned. Do you not take life seriously at all? Which, you know what, sometimes I wonder if it would be better not to. Sometimes you gotta take life seriously, you know? Anyway, what am I saying? Also, this palette, I'm pretty sure I was doing makeup tutorials last year and I was using this palette, and I have barely veered away. It's the Born This Way, the Natural Nudes complexion inspired eyeshadow palette, Too Faced. I know that that's probably like not hygienically, like that can't be good, right? Like I wash my brushes enough. Scatterbrained. Anyway, the more sparkly colors in this palette are literally the best. Oh God, it's kind of comical that I started on here technically as a beauty channel. 2013. Those were the days. Okay, are you ready to talk relationships? Next, April 2nd, 2021 to November 23rd, 2021. Healing relationship blocks. And this one is overlapping. Like it's weird to me that they're two different patterns, but heal relationship challenges, apparently those are different things. If you're in a good place, then it can be an expansive and enjoyable time. This might be when your relationship goes to the next level. The other one's kind of the same thing. It talks about during this cycle, certain events or feelings may take you to your edge and bring out your deepest fears or unconscious relationship behaviors, like lol. You're being given the chance to have a breakthrough and heal. It could feel like you're going to be dragged under, but instead you'll pull through and you're left more empowered than before, which thank God. Oh boy. I'm in a new relationship. Well, it's not even really that new anymore. We've been together for a while now, but newer to you guys. I only started talking about him on my channel in like April. Or was it February? I think it was April. I don't know. He was in the spring vlogs. Just right now with where we're at, and like who knows, maybe it'll change, maybe it won't, but like we're just very comfortable keeping our relationship the way it is. I feel like that is too bright. Can't even talk about it because I just get like so awkward. I don't know, I love him a lot, and see, I'm getting so weird right now. Like this is personal. Oh, it's weird because again, on an intuitive level, I do feel like a lot of that healing of relationship blocks, a lot of that healing of challenges definitely been on the agenda lately. Am I telling too much of the deepest depths of my soul online? I love what I do. I love what I do so much, but I feel like I've seen certain things. I don't know if that'll even make any kind of sense, but I think I take life too seriously sometimes. I don't want to put it under a negative that I am like I think too much or I overthink things. I just care. Like I care in a genuine way about not just my energy, but truly the energy of other people, of the whole globe, of the earth itself, of like Mother Nature, of animals. Like I just care, and it's not something I can turn off about myself. It's also not something I want to turn off about myself, but I do struggle to look out for myself sometimes. From crappy situations I've gotten myself into to literally just on an actual fundamental level, like struggling to just like keep on top of things at times. I feel like a lot of it is rooted in a lot of more global values that aren't great. Like values or things that make us feel crappy about ourselves, things that make us want to purchase things. I feel like I've been not going to bat with my ego, but I do feel like I've just been really aware of my ego and the things that I used to use to fill my ego, and I'm not afraid to like be honest about those things, about how online validation, all of these things used to be such a big feeder of the ego. And now I'm just not on that wave anymore. I have a lot of anxiety being online because it's like I just literally wanted to document and share my life, and then I met all of you nice people along the way, and then at one point it just became so overwhelming that I was just trying to like fake it till I made it, and then I was like, I can't fake it anymore. Now here I am. Okay, I can't believe I'm trying to have deep life shits. I believe I'm trying to have deep life chats while doing eyeliner. Oh my god, I messed it up. Frick Rick. We saved it. We saved it. We semi-saved it. As I was saying, it's weird. I feel uncomfortable even saying this, because I don't want it to come across the wrong way. Like I don't want it to sound like, oh, I'm so happy. But in my relationship, I've been really happy. And we hit a couple bumps towards the beginning, which was so good in a sense, because we just learned each other really quickly. I've never felt this close to somebody, but also this free. See, this isn't even making sense, and I'm like, I already feel uncomfortable talking this openly about our relationship online because it just feels so precious to me. It's precious. It's like I want to wrap it in bubble wrap, not because I think it's delicate or like breakable. It's way too important to me right now. I'm feeling like I'm floating around, like nothing is really making sense, and I'm just like, what is going on? And yes, it's been very spiritual, but he just like swoops in and just, it makes sense. It just makes sense. And there's so many walls that I used to have that are just gone. I don't know. He's just a very beautiful person, and I love him very much. And yeah, so that's that, which is actually really funny because my next pattern is literally nurturing confidence, which I feel like I just struggled even through all of that because I'm just like, I overthink. My brain moves way faster than my mouth. So I'll be saying something and then like halfway through the sentence, my brain will already be like, nope, 6 out of 10 ways that this could be wrong, or you shouldn't say it this way. And then I have to stop and go back and do it again. Yeah, I just overthink. I think too much. And then when I overthink things, I look at all perspectives, including the ones where you could look at something the wrong way, and then I can't even take a step forward because I'm constantly like, yeah, this is right, but this is also wrong. So I'm nurturing my confidence now, feeling deficient and like inadequate, feeling criticized, seeking relief, and by striving for perfection and a drive hard towards your ambitions, feeling encouraged to own these qualities without guilt or inhibition. If you've had difficulty embodying certain traits about yourself, this time frame can now give you confidence to overcome what may have stopped you in the past, and like, holy, yes, please sign me up. This is not meant to be a challenging time. Thank the Lord. And I feel for any of you guys out there that are like in a spot or have gone through, oh my God, it just got so dark in here. I can't even just get deep with you because the freaking aperture. I've gotten even some messages from you guys when I've done my open Instagram, write me, you can ask me anything or just write in how you're feeling. And there's so many of them that are like, oh, I let myself go and like I gained weight during the pandemic. Like, yo, so have I, and that doesn't have to be a bad thing. Where does the judgment come that that's bad as long as you're semi-healthy? And so it's not even like, okay, let me back up. See, my brain's going too fast. As long as you're healthy, your weight shouldn't matter. And that, it's just case in point, period, end of sentence. Your weight only matters if it's correlated to unhealthy habits. So if you're not being healthy, that should be where the focus is, you know? Excuse me for this tangent, it's coming to me, so I'm just gonna let it flow. Trigger warning, I know that this can be really sensitive. It's always weight focused. It's always like, oh, I've gained weight during the pandemic, or my body doesn't look the same after the pandemic, I haven't been working out or whatever. And it becomes so like aesthetically focused and numbers focused or like weight focused and not so health focused. It's weird because I want to sit here and be like, oh, but like I don't judge anybody that does that, because I truly don't. Like, it's your body. You do what you want with your body, your health, your life, you know? it's just, it begs the bigger question why we're all so weight focused, why we're all so aesthetically focused, because I don't say this to blame anybody that is focused on how their body looks. I get it. It just sometimes makes me sad when it's like that's the only focus and none of the focus goes on health. Anyway. Wow, that was a tangent. That contour sucked. I know it's not this easy, but as long as you're healthy, like your weight really is irrelevant. Your body's gonna look the way it's gonna look when you're healthy, and that can fluctuate and change. You can be the same weight and look totally different. You can be healthy and during different eras and different years of your life and look totally different on a basic scale, like literally basic. Not are you healthy based on what this person does, what an Olympian does. Like, we're not talking extreme levels of health here. I'm just talking basic health. Like, how are you sleeping? How much water are you drinking? How much processed foods are you having? And not to obsess over it, but just to become aware of your health, not your weight. Especially towards the beginning of COVID, I really kind of ate whatever I wanted. I was getting takeout like nearly at 3/4 of the week, and like I just literally let myself eat whatever I wanted and whatever. So like I get it. I wasn't being fully healthy in a way that was healthy for me because I needed to heal my trust and my relationship with food. Now I've balanced out. So yeah, over the last year, it's just definitely been a journey of nursing confidence and feeling really insecure, and then like really just sitting in those feelings and figuring it out, not blaming myself for being insecure, not blaming my body for not looking a certain way, not blaming my face for not looking a certain way, being aware to the things that I'm constantly consuming and introducing to like my brain, really, like even just beauty standards and all of that. Something we're gonna be talking about this week in a coffee talk, so I won't jump into it here, but yeah. And last but not least, opening up. So this one just started a week ago. June 25th to February 1st, 2023. This one goes all the way until I basically turn 29, which is wild. You've entered an incredible period of transformation that's activating your life's purpose, fully just stepping into my purpose. And that kind of actually seems pretty right. That could be a mood. I could see it. It may feel like you're in a dream world and ordinary reality is dissolving. Yep, that's just gonna keep on happening all the way through to 2023. And then all of a sudden there are many different paths to take. Be open to possibilities. It's okay to be confused with who you are. This influence is leading you to think about a life that allows you to tap into your higher ideals and spiritual values. I just recently filmed a coffee talk talking about, you know, marriage and kids and just general concepts that have been on my mind, you know, since I was a little kid, but are obviously in a more vivid part of my mind now, with those types of things being something that at 27, if I take that path, those things are on the horizon. I'm thinking out like the next 5 years, so 32. All of the questions that come with thinking about that. Just because it's the traditional path doesn't mean it's everybody's path, and like maybe your path is different. Maybe you're meant to do something else. Maybe you're meant to be something else, and not that there's anything wrong with that path either. Like just getting married and having kids and all of that. It's just, I also come from a family where that didn't work out very well. So I'm like, okay, maybe it's worth looking at other paths. And then I met my boyfriend, and then it was like, oh, well, hi, sir. I'd like to be with you for life, if you don't mind. My boyfriend watches my videos, he literally has my notifications turned on because he's just that guy. But I just mean like, that's a theme. Trying to figure out the right way to move. I have a feeling that's gonna be like, I'll finally, hopefully, step into a very confident, opened area of my just like, yes, I figured it out. So that's gonna be super interesting. So yeah, I have 6 patterns going on right now, which makes sense. That's probably why I feel so freaking heightened. When I read the update and saw that I was having 6 patterns go on right now, and then read them through, like went deep with them and read all of the slides, I felt like it made sense. And I think that's kind of the point, that it doesn't really matter if anyone can give you the answer of how accurate these things are, because I don't think anyone really knows that answer. And we're all playing a guessing game, and it's an interesting conversation to have, but ultimately, like, do you take anything away from it? And yeah, again, I can also hold space for like, you don't want to rely on these things to kind of be a cop-out for the situations you might find yourself in. Brings me full circle to the original question. Again, I think it all kind of boils down to, do you get something out of it in a very healthy way? That it helps things make a little bit more sense for you? I really don't know if my birth chart and where the different planets are arranged out there in the solar sky right now and for the next 3 years, and how those solar and astrological alignments all generally affect me on such deep, powerful emotional levels. But if I can understand just how I'm feeling and what I'm experiencing on a bit of a deeper level from reading these things, then isn't that really kind of all that matters? And not in a codependent, like now I'm gonna read the pattern every day, but just in a more general, like, oh, okay, so for the next 3 years, this is kind of just gonna be a mood. Might as well pull up my socks, throw on a robe, cozy on into. That's gonna be the soul journey for the next little bit. You know? No, I don't know if you know. I don't know if anything I just said made sense. So, thanks for getting ready with me today. Apparently, having mini bunny ears is a thing for me today. And go batch film some videos and then game a little bit. If you have the pattern app, go check it and let me know down below in the comments section how many patterns you got going right now, and do they feel relevant? Do they make sense for what you feel is going on in your life right now? Because if you just listen to me just jabber on about that for that long, then I would love to hear about you and your life patterns. And outside of that, I'm sending you all the love around the moon and back again, and I'll talk to you guys all in the next video. Bye guys.